Hey guys, for your independent time today, you're going to be looking at the summary, and we're going to do something a little different here. So I'm hoping to use our time during the day to be actually working on things and going over some of these more like how-to sections in your independent time, where you can watch and relearn some of these things at your own pace. So we're going to talk about summary writing today. So please follow along. There'll be times where you'll want to pause. So pause when I tell you to pause, read the articles that I tell you to read, okay? So summary writing. Why do we do it? Because we want to go from something that looks like this, a whole bunch of text, into something short and sweet. We want to tell people the essential information that's in a reading. You do this all the time. For example, when your parents ask you what you learned today in school, you're probably, if you actually tell them what you learned today in school, you're going to summarize what you learned about in school today. You're going to talk about the main ideas. You're not going to tell everything we did because that would be a lot of information. You're just going to tell the basic ideas. So, where to start? Step one in doing any summary is you want to read or watch the source. So as you're reading, take notes, underline things that you think will be important. The goal is you're reading, and when you know you're going to write a summary, is to find the main idea and how the author supports it. So find the main idea. So what is the author telling us? And how do they support it? So let's get down to writing. So your first sentence is your introduction sentence. In the introduction sentence, we want to identify the author. We want to identify the title of the article. We want to choose a good verb. So don't say says or tells. Those are boring. And then we want to identify the main idea. And we're going to get into an example of this at the end of the slideshow. So in the first sentence or first few sentences should see the author, the title, and introducing what their main idea is. What did they write about? So next step, details. Remember to give as many as the 5 W's as you can somewhere in your summary. So if the article tells you where things are happening, that's probably a good thing to bring in, either in its own example or including it in the details of things you write. But remember, the main idea is to focus on the main idea. We want to be proving that that is what this is all about. What part of the text supports this, and keep the ideas in the order they come in the reading. So take it sort of step by step. The last step is at the bottom of your paragraph, you want to include a citation. So again, a citation, I'm okay with the author's last name, first name, the title of the article, the website name, the date that it was created, and the link to the article. Okay, so the last step is a citation. You want to give the source so that if someone wants to read the whole darn thing, they can go and read the whole thing. So here's the sample text. This is where I want you to pause and read. Okay, so read this article, and as I said, as you're reading, try to think, okay, what's the main idea? How does the author support this? Because I'm going to take you step by step through an example that we've created for this text. So this is a moment to pause. Okay, welcome back. So here is our sample summary. You see, it's just a paragraph. So I took all those paragraphs and I made it into this. So you guys can read that over. Give you some time to read it over. You might want to pause, read it over. And here's the steps I went through to get here. So I include the author's name in the topic sentence to give credit to the original author. Remember, you are not summarizing your own work. You are summarizing someone else's work. So, according to Annalise Kingbell, good. That's the first thing you want to do. Second thing, you want to include the article title in the topic sentence. So again, if the reader wants to find the original article, they can. So, and it's also sort of important to include the headline or the title because, as we talked about with newspapers, that's usually where we find the main idea. So, we got according to Annalise Klingbeil in an article called "Finland's Famous Baby Boxes Are Coming to Canada. First Stop Alberta." Then I identify the main idea. What is the main event that they're talking about in the newspaper article, or what is the main idea or the main message of the reading? So you know how you read some things and you're just like, oh, I can totally tell that that the author's trying to teach me something by watching this. So that would be what you're identifying as the main idea then. But for a newspaper article, if you're summarizing a newspaper article, what is that main thing? So in the article you would have read, the main thing is the University of Calgary received $500,000 in funding from the Alberta government to start a pilot project called Welcome to Parenthood, providing new moms with boxes of baby supplies and connections to mentors and other resources to support new parents. That's the main idea. That's what the whole article is about. Yes, it gives some specific details, but that's what it's about. So again, that is our introduction. Author's name, article title, main idea. Then you got to choose the things that you want to include, the important information you feel is important to provide for the summary. So for this one, I felt that the first thing we want to do is talk about the purpose of the project. So one of the goals of the project is to help ensure that children in the province are meeting important milestones. Notice, don't need to talk about what those milestones are, don't need to go in a whole lot of detail. There's the purpose of the project. The second thing, I decided it was important to explain where the idea came from. And since it mentioned specifically that the idea started in Finland, include it. But again, do I include all the information about the Finland baby boxes? No. We want to keep things to the point. We want to keep focusing on our main idea, which is the University of Calgary receiving the money. All right. So, but it's good to mention where these ideas come from if they're borrowing an idea, for example. So then I went into some of the details about the boxes. I didn't include all the examples of what's in the box, just some of the important ones like a sleeper, a thermometer, and a mattress that fits inside the box. So you can pick and choose what you think is super important to include. So I thought this was an important supporting detail because it tells people how they can get the boxes. So you don't have to necessarily say all the cities that it's available in, because if they know what a Parent Link Center is, they can find out where they are, or they can look up Parent Link Centers and find out where they are in Alberta. So if for this one, including 4 important details, so you want like 3 to 5. So I saved the last detail for the end because it talks about the next step. So where they hope this will go. So in the article, it says if the results of the pilot project are positive, the project would be expanded to be available to new moms in Alberta. And then I've included a citation at the bottom of the page. So again, author's last name, first name, title, and source. All right. So there you go. So, and especially that introduction. I think the rest will be fine for you guys, but in that introduction, want to see the author's name, want to see the title, want to see the main idea. Author, title, main idea. The rest is telling me the details. All right, so good luck on your practice.